Today is Tuesday, January 8th. Today's Tuesday, June 18, 2024 by, where we gone? January 2025? Or are we going back in time? Today is Tuesday, June 18, 2024, and welcome to The Edge. I'm your host, Devonne, Cornelius, and thank you for joining me on the program for today. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Whether you are in St. Kitts and Nevis, across the Caribbean region, or other parts of the world, thank you for tuning in to today's edition of The Edge, and I look forward to having a fruitful and meaningful conversation with you for today. When we open the phone lines later, of course, you can call us at 465-2555 or 718-577-2916. Again, the numbers are 465-2555 or 718-577-2916. And this conversation is also live on ZIZ TV, as well as ZIZ's social media platforms. Our YouTube channel is ZIZ Online, and you can check us out on Facebook at ZIZ Broadcasting Corporation. Again, thank you for joining me, and let's get into our conversation for today. So I want to continue a bit where we left off from yesterday with regards to the CBI program, and on Friday, June 14th, the National Assembly met, and among other things, they also discussed the Citizenship by Investment program and made some amendments and additions to the existing legislation as it relates to the program. And the Prime Minister, he spoke to the importance of the program, and he also revealed the figures of the CBI program in terms of the passport sales. And then former Prime Minister and current Foreign Affairs Minister Dr. Denzel Douglas, he also spoke to the impact the program has had on the country in terms of the economic development of St. Kitts and Nevis, and how it has benefited us in various areas such as healthcare, tourism, agriculture, education, and the list goes on. And part of the discussion was the continuing international, or the discussion on the International Due Diligence Unit, and it is said that this is to add another layer of security for the Federation's CBI program. The unit will be headed by former Commissioner of the Royal St. Christopher Nevis Police Force and current Ambassador for the Eastern Caribbean States to the Kingdom of Morocco, His Excellency Ian Quealy. In making the announcement during the Friday, June 14th sitting of the National Assembly, Prime Minister and Minister responsible for Citizenship and Immigration, the Honorable Dr. Terence Drew, said this new mechanism will further help to protect the Federation's reputation on the international stage. He said, quote, "We are serious and we want to ensure that we engender confidence in our international partners, that we are serious about their security as well," end quote, Prime Minister Drew said during the second reading and debate on the Citizenship by Investment Unit Bill 2024. Now, that unit will be headquartered in Europe and will be responsible for conducting continuing due diligence on economic citizens worldwide. Quote, "It will ensure that citizens holding passports issued by St. Kitts and Nevis and residing and working internationally abide by the laws of the countries in which they reside and visit, and that they respect the international laws as well. It will alert the Ministry of National Security of St. Kitts and Nevis citizens who are being investigated for committing or have been arrested and or charged with financial or other crimes internationally, end quote, Dr. Drew added. In addition, the unit will liaise with and report to international law enforcement, anti-money laundering, and anti-terrorist financing agencies when St. Kitts and Nevis citizens are being investigated for committing or have been arrested and or charged with financial or other crimes internationally. It will also be responsible for retrieving passports issued by St. Kitts and Nevis, which have been cancelled by the Ministry of National Security, pursuant to the Passport and Travel Document Act, Principle 5 of the U.S. Caribbean Roundtable on CBI. Moreover, the unit will seek to create policies to mitigate and address any risks associated with St. Kitts and Nevis citizens who obtain their citizenship via the CBI program. In all of this, Prime Minister Dr. Drew said the government of St. Kitts and Nevis is, quote, making sure that there would also be strict security measures to protect ourselves and to protect our international partners, end quote. The continuing international due diligence, or CIDD, unit will be operationalized by July 31st, 2024. That is information on the international, or the continuing international due diligence unit. And I like the idea that they're not just thinking of doing the due diligence at the beginning of the process, but to continue it. And so even after you have received a passport through the CBA program, due diligence will continue. And that is important in ensuring that the program remains reputable and there is transparency and accountability in the program. Now, the former Prime Minister, Dr. Denzel Douglas, spoke in the Parliament on Friday, and he highlighted some of the benefits this program has had on St. Kitts and Nevis, and spoke to that. And so we'll have that clip now. Dr. Denzel Douglas, Foreign Affairs Minister, speaking on the positive impact of the CBI program to St. Kitts and Nevis. Take a listen.
The whole thing is that we believe that the program was important to us. I don't have to go through the statistics that you've heard. The Prime Minister a moment ago outlined the hundreds of thousands of dollars which it came in. I remember there was a time when we had a 187% of debt to GDP. 187. Maybe one of the highest in the world. It was through this program, apart from the debt restructuring exercise that we had, that brought our debt down from 187% of GDP to just about 70%, one of the highest in the whole Eastern Caribbean region, then became one of the lowest in the Caribbean region because of the contribution that was being made by the Citizenship by Investment unit. There was a lot of song and dance in those days. We have the former deputy in the gallery there. We would remember the song and dance in those days that we've had as to whether or not the creation of the Sugar Industry Diversification Foundation was an appropriate thing to do. Where should the money from the SIDF go? Should it remain in the vaults of the corporation, of the foundation, or it should be into the consolidated fund? Long arguments took place in the 2020, 2010, and so forth, because we created this entity back in 2004, 2005, when the sugar industry was closed. The point I want to make, Madam Speaker, is that we cannot allow persons for their own personal ambitions and gains. Persons who might have become bankrupt. Persons who are still having problems with this government and persons in this government to take out and empty their claw on us here in this country with regard to the citizenship by investment program. Because some people are bent on destroying the program. And we shall not allow that to happen here in this country at all. We don't care who it is, where they come from, what has been their track record. You can't say that you want to sue a country and get in compensation from the sue over $1 trillion as compensation. And that is what is happening around us today, Madam Speaker. Some people have taken this too far, and in taking it that far, they are destroying the economy of St. Kitts and Nevis. They are destroying St. Kitts and Nevis on a whole. Because even though we may not have been perfect in what we do, at least what is the alternative to the citizenship by investment program as we try to diversify the economy here in St. Kitts and Nevis? All those schools that have been built and repaired, all those houses that we can boast of, all the roads that we have repaired after hurricanes, the basic infrastructure that we have put in place over the years. Where do you think the money come from? It comes from the SIDF. It comes from the Citizenship by Investment Program. All those small businesses that were established in 2010 to 2015, when you could have gone to save and borrow money as a small businessman to start up your businesses. When Ambassador Hazel was in charge of that, where do you think the money came from? The money came from this same program to help small people to build our country and transition us into a modern economy and state. Madam Speaker, we need to understand that what is happening here today in this parliament is an attempt, as the Prime Minister has said, to even insulate this even more because of the critical importance it has in the continued development and advancement of our country and our people.
That was Foreign Affairs Minister, the Right Honourable Dr. Denzel Douglas, speaking on the Citizenship by Investment Program. We'll take a break, and when we come back, we'll continue our conversation here on The Edge for Tuesday, June 18th. Let's hit this break, and we will be right back. Stay tuned.
From the heart of ZIZ Radio comes a political talk show like no other. The Edge, with host Devonne Cornelius giving you his take on the biggest stories happening in governance today. Got something to say? Let's hear it. Give us a call at 869-465-2555, Monday to Friday from 11 a.m. to 12 noon. One solid hour of in-depth analysis of the machinery that makes our country tick. The Edge, cutting into the matters at hand.
This message is for every business owner in St. Kitts and Nevis. Jumpstart your business and set yourself apart from your competitors with an advertising solution from ZIZ Radio, ZIZ Television, or Big Wave. The Advertising Solutions Department at ZIZ prides itself on providing client-focused advertising solutions that make sense for all local businesses. Don't use the excuse that you can't afford to advertise. Call us at 465-2621. We will sit with you, discover your needs, and design a solution that fits your budget. Advertising works, and with ZIZ, it works even better for your business.
Welcome back to The Edge here on ZIZ Radio 96.1 FM. I'm your host, Devonne Cornelius. It's 17 minutes past the 11 o'clock hour, and we'll open the phone lines now and begin taking your calls at 465-2555 or 718-577-2916. Again, the numbers to call are 465-2555 or 718-577-2916. If you tuned in late, I had the Foreign Affairs Minister, Dr. Denzel Douglas, a clip from him from the Parliament on Friday, speaking on the importance of the CBI program and other programs to St. Kitts and Nevis and how they have contributed towards the economic development of the country in a number of areas. We have education, tourism, agriculture, disaster management, sorry, you name it. The program has been good to us. As I mentioned yesterday and over the week, the issue has been, or the concern has been, and not just recently, but over the years since countries have been operating CBA programs, the issue has always been due diligence and what the respective countries are doing to ensure that they are properly checking, they're properly doing their homework, they're properly doing their due diligence to ensure that the people who are receiving their citizenship are legitimate people, are people who do not have any ill intent, and to ensure that due diligence continues. They have decided to set up a continuing international due diligence unit. And the name, I think, is self-explanatory in the sense that there will be continued due diligence. And so it is not expected to be a case where you just get the St. Kitts and Nevis passport through the CBA program and there is no continued due diligence. And so every now and then, I don't know what the mechanism will be in terms or the frequency, but they will be checking in to ensure that who you say you were then, you are still that person today. Because we have read in the news, we've heard instances of people getting citizenship through the CBA programs and changing their identity or getting it on a false identity and getting involved in some sort of financial crime, cryptocurrency, money laundering, and all of these things go on and on and on and on. And so with the establishment of the unit, it is seeking to mitigate against such and to ensure that the people who are receiving the citizenship are legit people. And the concern by the international community has been security, and they want to ensure that if they're going to grant access to St. Kitts and Nevis, the people who have access to St. Kitts and Nevis passports must not be high risk. Now, the Citizenship by Investment Unit Bill, it was successfully passed in the Parliament on Friday, and it is paving the way for the establishment of the unit as a body corporate. And I mentioned that what the unit is going to be doing and who is going to be leading the unit. Now, the government says that this is part of measures to, or part of the effort to employ new measures to strengthen the CBA program in line with the best international practices. The piece of legislation was championed by the Prime Minister and Minister responsible for citizenship and immigration. Dr. Drew outlined the glaring instances of mismanagement of the program and raised concerns internationally, and numerous steps taken by his government to address them. At present, the CIU operates as a department within the Ministry of National Security, Immigration and Citizenship, with financial oversight by the Prime Minister's office. Now, through the passage of this bill, the Citizenship by Investment Unit will now stand as a statutory corporation, having perpetual succession and a common seal, and may sue and be sued in its corporate name. Establishing the Citizenship by Investment Unit as a statutory corporation also aligns with one of the recommendations made by the Financial Action Task Force and the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, OECD, outlined in a 2023 joint report on investment migration. Dr. Drew stated that the administration will continue to implement the necessary measures that will prove to its international partners that St. Kitts and Nevis is resolute in efforts to strengthen the CBI program, while at the same time ensuring it remains beneficial for the people of the Federation. Quote, "Our well-respected CBI is the longest standing in the world, and we are proud of what it has done for our people. This administration's goal is to preserve our CBI program and make it sustainable. We met it in an unsustainable state, and that is why we have done so many things over the last 21 months to buttress the integrity of our CBI program," end quote, Prime Minister Drew said. The bill received support by members of the Parliament, including the Senior Minister, Dr. Denzel Douglas, and Attorney General Garth Wilkin, before it was unanimously passed into law. It is 11:24, and we are taking your calls at 465-2555 or 718-577-2916. 465-2555 or 718-577-2916. The phone lines are open, and we welcome your contribution to the discussion at hand as it relates to the CBI program and how it has impacted St. Kitts and Nevis, how it has contributed to the development of the country, and we also look at it in terms of the due diligence and what exactly is being done to ensure that there is due diligence. We'll take our first call for this morning. Hello, caller. Good morning. You're on the air. Hello, caller. Okay, we're not hearing that call. Please call us back, 465-2555 or 718-577-2916. And so, looking at what the program has done for St. Kitts and Nevis and looking at the due diligence aspect of it, nobody ever wants to hear when someone or a St. Kitts and Nevis citizen through the program has been caught up in some sort of financial crime or some sort of international crime, because this is now a look at St. Kitts and Nevis, and it tarnishes our reputation and our character, our reputation rather, as a country. And so there needs to be enforcement of these laws and measures that have been implemented. And it should not just be a case where you just implement them, but ensure that they're enforced. We have some callers on the line. Let's take this one. Hello, caller, you're on the air. Okay, I think we lost that caller as well. The phone lines remain open, and we take your calls, 465-2555 or 718. If you have no calls, let's take a break quickly, and when we come back, we'll take your calls. Continue to try to call us as we give you the opportunity to make a contribution. Stay tuned.
future is unknown. Protect your life, your family, and your valuables from unforeseen circumstances. Let National Caribbean Insurance give you the peace of mind that you so deserve. At NCI, we offer a suite of affordable insurance plans that can be tailored to ease your financial burden. We aim to deliver exceptional products to satisfy all your insurance needs. Whether life, health, motor, or property insurance, NCI has the right solution for you. Our friendly and knowledgeable sales professionals are ready and able to assist you. Let National Caribbean Insurance Company Limited help you to prepare for the unexpected. We serve, we protect, we satisfy. That's NCI.
Sugar Mass 53 presents.
Listen.
St. Kitts and Nevis 2024 Carnival Comedy Show. Performing live. Major High. Also featuring Vegas and Morris. Location. Carnival Village. December 7th, 2024. A night full of laughter. Showtime 8 p.m. Early bird special ends September 1st. Tickets on sale now at Jad Cash and online at Eventbrite.com. Contact Delvin the promoter for more info. Email delvinf12@gmail.com.
Celebrating culture, embracing history. It's Culturama 50. Yeah. It's our heritage. That's how we live. Come fet with us for the 50th. We're doing it big. Pulsating sound, masquerading clowns. String on a big drum, we'll be taking over town. 'Cause we're celebrating culture, embracing history. It's Culturama 50. We'll celebrate its 50th anniversary from July 25th to August 6th, 2024. Come join us. Celebrating culture, embracing history. It's Culturama 50. Celebrating culture, embracing history. It's Culturama 50. Yeah.
Hello and welcome back to The Edge here on ZIZ Radio 96.1 FM. We have a caller on the line. Hello caller, you're on the air.
Devonne.
Hi caller.
Yes. I do agree that one of the problems that plagued our CBI was the due diligence part of it. But in addition to that, it was the accountability side of it as well. For a long time now, the program has been shrouded in secrecy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
yeah.
There was not enough oversight, whether from the executive or the parliamentary side of things. Okay, and that meant that it was open to suggestions of it being things like a slush fund and being run like someone's private piggy bank to be used at whim by politicians. Okay, I think that still obtains. I don't think that what has been done has ended that. All right, and what is being proposed now with the additional layer of due diligence reckoning.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not, to be quite honest, it is true I'm speaking as an outsider, but I'm not so sure that putting another layer on what already exists is going to solve the problem. It might be a requirement for the EU and the North Americans who have been breathing down our necks. And if it is, I suppose that's one way of tackling it. But if it is to actually catch people, I don't know that what we are setting up is going to be any better than what obtains in mostly the foreign countries where these people are held up. Okay? Because currently that is how we know when they are bad actors. When they are caught by foreign government and enforcement people, right? So I'm not so sure it's going to increase our costs, and I'm not so sure we're going to get bang for our buck, to be quite honest. Okay? And it certainly doesn't address the accountability part of it down here. Because, I mean, from the beginning, people were... I heard you yesterday, for instance, saying that we should not be critical of the CBI. Well, ostensibly, we shouldn't be critical of the CBI because it's our bread and butter. That is true, but that does not mean that we should not ask for information on how the funds are spent, the details
Correct.
of
Yes.
the number of passports and so on that are issued, how many citizens, right? Those kinds of questions are certainly
important,
relevant.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. And even to date, although we have some of the answers, we don't have all of the answers. And I'm fearful that the same old modus operandi of keeping these things as close as possible to your chest by the authorities would still obtain. And I think that is what got us into trouble. This secrecy, when in fact, I mean, if it's a public entity, a public money, it's a public asset, so to speak, then it should be public.
All right.
Right? And questions should in fact be asked and answers given. And I'm not yet convinced that we're at the stage yet where those things are forthcoming. And so I would not be surprised if down the road, if things don't change, and if other changes aren't made, if we still won't end up in the same mess that we have now.
All right,
Okay.
caller, thank you so much for your contribution to the program. Do we have any more callers on the line? Let's take this call. Hello, caller. Good morning. You're on the air. Okay, we lost that caller. But you did make a very good point, and I think I also expounded on that as well, where people have asked relevant and important questions as it relates to how many passports have been sold and all of these things. And you made a comment there which I totally understand, where the program over the years has been shrouded in secrecy, where questions, very direct questions, very straightforward, direct questions are asked about the program, and you get a response that knocks you out of your chair or knocks you from your ground where you're standing, because you're like, but I just asked you a very straightforward question. And it brings the question, what is the reason for these half responses, or these responses that are basically empty and has no meat in them? And that has been one of the issues as it relates to the program. But I totally agree with the caller when he said that people do have relevant questions, and those questions must be asked as it relates to this program. When you're talking about the due diligence, and you're talking about how many passports have been sold under the program, when you're talking about the demographics and all of these things, these are very important questions. What I do not understand is people who are going to join in the tearing down of the program. A comment was made on the live stream yesterday, and somebody basically said, if we are to lose this program right now, then we're not going to be in a very good position. We're not going to be in a very good position. So while I make that comment, I still do believe that every citizen has the right to ask questions of the CBI program. every citizen has that right, so that you could know what exactly is going on as it relates to your country. The phone lines remain open and we take your calls. 465-2555 or 718-577-2916. Call us and lend your voice to the conversation at hand, and we will take it from there. It is 11:37. We break just before noon for the midday newscast. Do we have any calls? All right, so we'll wait your call. So, and that is the concerns that people have raised with this program, the CBI program in particular. No one ever knows, and we know. I made the point yesterday that, with the revelation of these numbers, I don't think it took a day. It took a while. We have a caller who's on the line. Hello, caller. You're on the air.
Yes, it's me again. I don't think your local line was working initially. That's probably, but it is obviously working now because this is what I called on. What I would like to say too is the fact is the clip you played with the ex-prime minister talking about what the money was used for. I don't think that's enough detail either, because you heard the kinds of sums that was mentioned, billions, okay? And one certainly can argue that if you have such a windfall, then more people should have been involved in how it is spent, where it is spent. I mean, we already have the fact that Nevis was complaining that they weren't getting their fair share in the first place, okay? And you can also say that a lot of some of the things mentioned, for instance, was start the small business startups, etc. But I recall that people were complaining that it was not a structured program, that people were getting money and there was no accounting for it as well, right? So even there, and that is probably what gave rise to the complaints of it being used as a slush fund. So even there were things that needed to be cleaned up, right? And so we are where we are now. And I'm hoping...
Okay. I want you to wrap it up quickly because I want to take some more callers.
Okay, well, I'm just hoping that going forward, these things, we should look back and correct the deficiencies that everybody admits were there, and the program is more acceptable to the people going forward.
All right, caller, thank you so much. Let's hit this other call. Hello, caller, you're on the air. Good morning.
Okay.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning, you're on the air.
Yeah, the CBI money and the concern of CBI was dormant. One man opened up their mouth and talk about how much money the CBI making on the air. And even he said that, I said to myself, right there now, everybody know how much the money they're making. People are just talking about the passport, but then after he talk about the amount of money making, that is what open up people's eyes. And that's what he's talking about news in the fair share. But the CBI was there dormant. Nobody, all of a sudden now, it's hot bread and butter. The CBI, it was there. People was asking how much passport they're selling. They was asking how much money they're making, But he come out and talk about how much money they're making, and that's why now it put it in the public eyes, and that's why now everything is CBI. So that is all I have to say.
All right, caller. Thank you for your contribution. Let's hit this other call. The phone lines remain open. We lost that caller. Call us at 465-2555 or overseas line 718-577-2916. Let's take this call. Hello, caller, you're on the air.
Mr. Cornelius, good morning.
Good morning.
I would just like to say that the CBI, this man came to St. Kitts and Nevis, came to Nevis first, Mr. Philippe. He deceived Mark Blankley. Mark Brantley had no call to pay him no money for no moving. And now he come down to St. Kitts. He deceived the politician. So Mr. Martinez is a deceiver. That's all I got to say.
Hello, caller.
Okay,
you're on
Devonne,
the air.
good morning. Devonne, this is like you have all along the way, these people of St. Kitts Nevis, we were seeing manna dropping from heaven and house building, road fixing, but yet the millions of dollars we was not seeing because LRS people was making millions. So when we get 20 house, it is actually 50 house for the bill. But because of somebody else have to make 30 house value of money, they get that. Now the man, Mr. Martinez, now come in play. He come here to open up movie. Mark give him a set of money, which Mark take the money then and fix the hospital. Left the hospital up there and done, and other works and done. I know he take that $200,000 and give the man. And there's a road right across there by the radio station that across what a whole boat could sail in it when we went far. Yeah, but I'm just saying, right? So many money been a flourish. And today, we still, the poor ordinary man, still suffering. Because now, Douglas was building houses, load of houses. Yes. The electricity, the water, we got them there. Now this next government take up 7 years. And instead of he take the money now, why he meet and why he meet a Floyd and do these things that the ordinary man now would have lived better. He just was give the man again a set of money, sell off for Thomas Hotel, and the people don't know nothing.
All right, Carl.
And so now we might have now everybody now come forward. Actually, the mango and the skin don't go.
All right, caller. Thank you for your call. The phone lines remain open, and we take your calls 465-2555 or 718-577-2916. If you have no calls coming in right now, we'll take a break, and when we come back, we'll continue the conversation. Let's take this break, and we'll be right back.
Join us on ZIZ TV for Youth Lounge with Sniper, a talk show on vital topics such as tourism, entrepreneurship, education, religion, sex education, and mental health, featuring experts from St. Kitts and Nevis and the Caribbean region. Tune in live on the first and third Wednesday of every month at 8:30 p.m. on ZIZ TV.
Time is time, and the team at MVI Connect respects your time. Whether you're traveling for business or pleasure, MVI Connect makes your cross-channel crossing stress-free with its on-time, consistent, convenient, comfortable, and safe cross-channel auto ferry service. It's simple. Go online to iConnectSKN.com. Book a departure and return time that's convenient for you. Arrive at least 15 minutes before departure. Show your QR code, drive on, turn, and park. Then drive off. MVI Connect. On time. Every time. Online ticket purchase encouraged to guarantee your trip. Ticket purchase at dock may be available if space allows.
Welcome back to The Edge on ZIZ Radio 96.1 FM. I'm Devonne, Cornelius, and thank you for joining me on the program. I take this opportunity to apologize for a comment made by a caller saying that Mr. Martinez is a deceiver. That does not reflect the view of ZIZ Broadcasting Corporation or its advertisers. Again, I apologize for a comment made by a caller saying that Mr. Martinez is a deceiver. That does not reflect the view of ZIZ Broadcasting Corporation or its advertisers. Welcome back to The Edge, and let's head back to the phone lines, and we'll take your calls at 465-2555 or 718-577-2916. Call us and lend your voice to the conversation at hand. Do we have any more callers on the line? All right, it is 11:47. We will begin wrapping up the discussion. Great discussion that we have had thus far as it relates to the CBI program. If you tuned in late, I played a clip from Foreign Affairs Minister Dr. Denzel Douglas speaking on the positive impact the CBI program has had on St. Kitts and Nevis. I'll hold that thought and I'll head back to the phone lines and take this call. Hello, caller, you're on the air. Good morning.
Good morning. I want to say something. Can I?
Sure, caller. Go ahead and make your contribution.
Okay, then. Last Thursday, you were saying about the cap to lift, and it's 600 now, 100 on, and they were saying 1,005. That's why they get their vote and taking off people's name unfair to them. That was going on before they come. The Prime Minister was a good one, not like this one. It's 10 men in one, say 1,005, and they must stop all. Look into it. Don't take off people's name. Thank you.
All right, caller, thank you for your contribution to the program. Let's take this call. Hello, you're on the air. Hello, caller, good morning, you're on the air. Okay, we're not getting that caller. 465-2555 or 718-577-2916. We are taking your calls, giving you an opportunity to share your views and or opinions on the topic at hand or on matters of national interest. Call us and be a part of our conversation. Hello, caller, you're on the air. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Moderator.
Good morning.
This program is, I would say, is very important and should be continued for the couple of days. It concerns thinking. I would say I don't want to be too long, but I've been listening for the morning. And what I see here, or what I heard the other day, that the initial stage of this program was for people to invest. People coming to invest, and because of the size of the investment and the development of the investment, and the proof suitable and profitable to the country, they would have gotten a citizen of investment facility. I need to understand that. And number two, it was then transformed by the former Prime Minister into the sale of passports. And in my opinion, a passport to me is a sacred document and should not be traded. However, it was too profitable, but it's now backfire. What is in place right now is not a bad idea. It's to have it properly regulated, because it is to a great extent benefiting the country. Because after sugar went out, other things went out, we had something to run on. We had to get something to run on. And in this case, to me, in my honest opinion, it is not a bad idea. Due diligence, etc., etc., I go along with. I would like to say ending here, let the program run and continue to run until it is properly executed. Thank you very much. much.
And thank you, caller, for your contribution to the program. You're listening to The Edge on ZIZ Radio 96.1 FM. I am looking at the clock and I'm going to begin wrapping up the conversation for today to make way for the midday newscast. Let me see. Thank you to all of you for your calls and the contribution to the discussion at hand. A bit of a recap. I played a clip from Foreign Affairs Minister Dr. Denzel Douglas speaking in the National Assembly on Friday, June 14th, and he commented on the Citizenship by Investment Program, CBI, and how it has been beneficial to us. I know one of the other major, and I say major because people have been, I saw fake news yesterday where somebody saying that they're going to be paying a CBI dividend on the 21st of June. That is fake news. Fake news. It is fake. And people need to be responsible when it comes around to information sharing. So he spoke on the importance of the program and how it has benefited us here in St. Kitts and Nevis, and I believe other Caribbean islands that have this program in place can also say the same in terms of how it has contributed towards their economic development in a number of areas, from education, tourism, agriculture, healthcare, national security, you name it, disaster management and mitigation. The program has been doing wonders and has been doing well. But the concern has been due diligence and to strengthen the program in terms of accountability and transparency and better management of the program. We are seeing where efforts are being made by the Prime Minister, who is also the Minister with responsibility for the program, by the establishment of a continuing international due diligence unit to ensure that there is continued checking, continued due diligence of people who obtain St. Kitts and Nevis passports through the Citizenship by Investment program. Until next time, you guys stay safe. Continue to enjoy the rest of your Tuesday. Don't drink and drive. Don't text and drive. Have a good one. Good afternoon. See you tomorrow. Same time, same station. Coming up next on Midday Newscast.